questions from evidence-based strategies to help you to improve your mental well-being and to cope with challenges you might be experiencing. However, I want to note that these videos cannot be accepted as treatment, and if you really think that you are having a lot of challenges, it's better to refer to a medical doctor. And I'm sharing this information just to increase your awareness and to help you to understand how your brain works. And if you're watching this video, there's a good chance that sometimes your mind feels exhausted. And today we will be talking about overthinking, and I will be explaining how your mind works. I will continue to explain and what you can do to decrease overthinking, rumination, and anxiety. Maybe you notice that you are trying to sleep at night, but your thoughts won't stop, and maybe you reply conversations in your head, or maybe you keep imagining future scenarios that haven't even happened yet. And today we are going to talk about something very important, that your mind can sometimes make things feel real even when they are not. And in this video, we will explore why we overthink, why our mind replays certain thoughts and conversations, memories, and why small events can stay in our minds for days, and most importantly, how to break this cycle, how to decrease rumination, overthinking, and anxiety. Overthinking happens when a thought keeps repeating in your mind without leading to a solution, and in psychology, it's often also called as rumination. And sometimes something happens, your mind starts to analyze it, then analyzes it again, and then imagines different scenarios, thinks about other possibilities, and this loop continues endlessly. And instead of solving the problem, you are actually spending your valuable time and efforts in your head, and your mind just replays the same movie again and again. For example, maybe you remember something you said to a friend, or maybe somebody told you something and this caused you distress, anxiety. You felt upset or sad, and this considerably impacted your mood. And suddenly you find that your mind says to you, did I say something wrong, or did they misunderstand me, or I shouldn't have said that, or maybe you are asking why they said this. They hurt my feelings, maybe they think badly about me, and maybe you think about the reasons why they thought they spoke like that to you. And this can last for hours, and the truth is your mind is not trying to solve the problem, it's just your mind trying to detect any possible danger. And actually oftentimes we think that if we will think more about the whatever is disturbing us, this is gonna solve the problem. However, in reality, we are not solving the problems, we are just wasting our own time, efforts, and life. And your brain's main job is not to make you happy, it's just to keep you safe. And our minds are designed in a manner to help us to detect any possible threats or danger and keep us safe. And therefore, this is one of the reasons why we are thinking in so much details. And your brain maybe constantly asks, is there a danger? And when there is uncertainty, your brain often interprets it as a threat. And for instance, if you send a message and nobody is replying, maybe you think that maybe they are angry, maybe I did something wrong, maybe they don't want to talk to me, maybe something made them upset. But the truth might be is that maybe they are busy or their phone is silent. And that's why I often say your mind is not a news reporter, your mind is storyteller. And the difference is that like we shouldn't accept all the thoughts that we have as literal truths. And sometimes these stories are not true. So that's why overthinking is so common. And if you don't notice these initial thoughts that you have, you might spend a lot of time in your head repeating and generating different thoughts. But once you notice that you are overthinking or there is a rumination, you always have a choice to respond to these thoughts differently, and you can decide how long are you gonna stay in that place and what you can do about it. And you can choose something different, you can choose to respond differently. So why overthinking is happening? Modern life exposes our brain to constant stimulation. The social media, computers, phones, all over, news, notifications, comparisons, informed overload cause our brains to act and to work a lot and triggered a lot. And our brains were not designed for this level of stimulation. So, therefore, our brains automatically try to analyze any information that we have. But more analysis doesn't create more peace. You might feel more anxious, more stressed, more tired. Therefore, maybe choosing how much time you will spend in social media or how much time you will expose yourself to screen can be one of the solutions to help you to calm your mind, to clear your mind. And maybe choosing times, for instance, when are you going to answer to your emails, and when are you going to take rest, increasing things that can help you to improve your mental well-being, to help you to feel more relaxed. This can be one of solutions and strategies that you can use. You can decide how much you are going to stimulate your brain. And if you feel exhausted, if you find yourself overthinking a lot, might be taking some distance, some time without social media or spending less time can be useful. So, but more analysis about things, experiences, or our thoughts create even more anxiety. And your mind often might be telling you that if you think more, you will solve the problems. If that you must consider every possibility, that your thoughts are facts. But in reality, not we cannot control everything, and there are a lot of things out of our control. And no matter how much we think or how much we try to solve, some things are very difficult to control. So maybe becoming aware of this and trying to do just things that you can control, and reminding yourself that not every thought that you have is going to be a truth, and choosing, deciding for yourself how you want to respond to these automatic thoughts are the first steps towards awareness, noticing rumination, noticing overthinking, and deciding for yourself what you want instead. So, our thoughts are not facts, and thought is just a mental event. And when we become aware of it, considerable stress and anxiety will be decreased. For instance, if you think, if a thought in your head is that maybe people don't like you, or that you are a failure, or maybe you have some negative thoughts about yourself and it keeps repeating, then this would impact your mood, your performance, your productivity. But if you can take a glance perspective to it, just a mental event, it will be easier for you to respond to it differently, becoming aware that these are just thoughts that are visiting you, and you have the freedom to act as you want. So, what are you hoping would feel different as a result of listening to this conversation? We have started to speak about overthinking, and maybe you notice that you are also overthinking and spending too much time in your head. So, imagine if you learned to respond to overthinking differently, and you were doing something different instead of overthinking. When you notice that you are overthinking or ruminating, if you choose to respond differently, what you would like to do instead, what do you think might be useful for you, and which version of you would like to see if you were not overthinking? What would you like to understand or experience differently when like automatic thoughts are visiting you? What you would like to do instead? And you can just take a moment and notice your answer, and maybe writing down your answer might help. Maybe you want to see a patient, a confident version of you. Maybe you want to see more productive, hardworking, successful version of you. Uh, it's important to choose whatever you want to achieve, and what you want to see instead. So, if you mentioned at stopping overthinking, what would you like to do if you were not overthinking, and how would you like to make use of your time? And also, becoming aware the thoughts that are visiting you, are they being helpful for you? Are they helping you to achieve your goals, to change your life, or do you feel stuck at those moments? Also, this awareness can help you to motivate, to inspire for change that you want to see. And I also find that many people say that they find writing down their thoughts as useful to decrease overthinking and rumination, especially if it's at night. It's recommended that if you notice that you've been spending too much time on your head, it's not recommended to stay in the same room or in the bed. Maybe changing your environment, your room, changing your attention, shifting your attention to something else, writing down your thoughts, according to research, helps to decrease overthinking. And once you learn to notice your thoughts that start before overthinking, instead of being hooked by these thoughts, being fused with these thoughts, simply accepting them, or imagine, for instance, if you had a family member or a friend or someone close who is constantly making comments about your behavior or trying to help you, to protect you. Imagine that your mind is somebody who is close to you and just constantly trying to protect you, to help you. And instead of believing everything that they said or accepting them as literal truth, just maybe thanking them that they care and reminding them that there are some other things that you need to focus on that moment can help this, create this sense of freedom and shift your attention, help you to shift your attention on things that matter at that time. So you don't need to answer every thought that you have in your head, and you need to decide, is this worth of my attention? And if the answer is no, you let the thought to be there without following it. So instead of asking, is this true or not, just asking, is this being useful for me, and what would I like to do instead? How do I want to respond to these thoughts? Are some strategies that can be used to decrease overthinking. And for instance, imagine that some thoughts started to visit you, and your mind is telling you maybe you said something wrong, and if you will be able to notice that I'm having the thought that I said something wrong, this would help to create distance, and you will realize that you are the one who is absorbing these thoughts, and you are not these thoughts. You are not anxiety. You are not exhaustion. You are not fears. So this is a kind of no debate rule. If you decide for yourself, and if you make a clear internal boundary that you are not going to overthink or try to solve everything that your mind is telling you, this would be the key, because rumination is not a problem-solving tool. It feels like one, but it isn't. So if your initial goal from decreasing overthinking was to become more active, productive, patient, peaceful, present, whatever you have chosen and written down for yourself, try to remind yourself about it and answer the following questions, keeping in mind that version of you that you want to become. So even the fact that you are listening to this video right now, you are trying to learn something new, and you are trying to take steps towards change and to notice your thoughts. What does it say about you that you are noticing this pattern in your thinking? What kind of awareness do you already have that you can use to solve the problems and to help yourself? And which quality strengths does it take to reflect on your own mind like this? And when in your life have you handled something mentally challenging before, and you were able to get rid of it, to overcome it, and to focus on whatever was important for you at that point? And what helped you to get through that? Remembering those moments that helped, environments, people, thinking strategies, or whatever was there, like internal resources, whatever you used during those times to help you to overcome these challenges might help you again, and to remind yourself about your resilience, capability, about your own resources. And what helps you cope even a little when your mind starts replaying things? And is there something you already do that brings even slight relief? And what keeps this from being even more overwhelming? That is already. So these are important because they show that something is already working for you, and you are capable. So your goal is not to win the argument in your head, but it's to exit the loop and to stop using your energy and your time uh, with overthinking. So you can decide for yourself if you were not overthinking what you would like to do instead. Maybe you notice that walking helps you, or taking a shower, or uh, using any cold objects on your head or on your face might help to decrease anxiety and to shift your attention and calm down. Because overthinking happens in the mind, and as a result, it impacts your emotions, and eventually it creates stress in your body as well. Maybe you feel tightening in your chest, maybe it's difficult to breathe, maybe you feel too stressed. And moving your body, noticing these bodily sensations and moving your body and using strategies that help you. Maybe it's breathing, taking a walk, changing, stretching might help to feel calmer. Like whatever strategy is helping you, you can use those resources for yourself. And can you think of a recent time when you had a conversation in your head and you didn't replay it afterward? Maybe even a small example. And what was different about those moments? What were you doing differently that helped you to decrease overthinking? What was different in your mood, environment, your attention? Which strategies did you use? And when your mind does start replaying, are there moments when it naturally quiets down, when it decreases? And when does it stop even briefly? What's happening right before it stops? And what do you do even unintentionally that helps you to shift your attention and helps you to achieve this outcome? You can take your time with it and to think about it and write down also after finishing listening to the video. Because these moments are not accidents, they are the clues that you are already coping, that there are already moments when you are coping better, when overthinking is decreasing, and taking more detailed perspective towards those moments of exceptions and success can help to find out some clues what might help for you for your situation. And suppose that your mind becomes just a little quieter, not a perfect, not a, but just a little bit calmer. What would be the first sign that tells you something is different, that overthinking has decreased? And what would you notice about your thoughts? Which feelings would be there? What would you be doing differently? What would let you know that you are slowly becoming the version of you that you want to become? What would you be doing instead of replaying conversations? How would you respond when a thought tries to pull you back in? And how would you feel in those moments? Is it a little lighter, maybe more focused? Maybe you would be more present, more in peace? And what would other people notice about you if this change was happening? What might be different in how you speak, act, or respond? And if this change has continued, what difference could it make in your life over time? How might it affect your relationships, your confidence, your daily sense of calm? And what kind of relationship would you like to have with your own thoughts and with overthinking in the long term? Is it less controlling? Is it more peaceful? Is it more flexible? And what did it mean about you as a person if you were able to respond to your thoughts in the new way and in the way that you want? And notice something important is here. We didn't try to fight your thoughts. We didn't try to suppress your thoughts or feelings. We didn't try to analyze everything. All we did was we explored what you want, what's already working for you, and what's possible. And even if your mind replays conversations, there are always moments when it's decreasing, and those moments, no matter how small they are an evidence that change can exist, that everything can change. And maybe even while I'm talking, if your mind is telling you that I've been using this strategy and overthinking for too long that I can't change, this is not the literal truth. Change is always possible, and neurons are always forming in your brain. And if we have learned these habits, this behavior, we can relearn it again. And overthinking is not a weakness. It often happens to people who are too sensitive, thoughtful, and emotionally aware and have high levels of empathy. But your mind doesn't have to control you. You can learn to work with your mind. And if overthinking and anxiety affecting your life, you don't have to deal with it alone. With working with a psychotherapist can help you to understand and change those patterns that you are having. And I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you have more questions, don't forget to leave them in the comments. Thank you for thank you for coming, and see you in the next videos again.